I'm sorry, you guys got me playing some video games. But what are the video games? That's a good question, huh? The video games are electronic games playing on a video screen. It can be used a computer, I don't know, a television, or even a phone. The video games can be found in a big variety of formats, such as the CDs, the DVDs, the truth is I never knew the difference, and with the popularization of the internet, the downloads, this being the most popular today. It is important to remember that video games are a form of entertainment and one of the most common today, so it wouldn't be a surprise if you ever end up playing one. But please, be cautious because excess can lead you to one of the biggest problems in video games, the addiction. Now, with the addiction of the video games, I don't know. Video game addiction is something that can happen in people, yes. This is why they are usually rated negatively for being destructive. Around the world, a lot of people who are distanced from society take refuge in video games. But this does not have to mean that all the fault is of video games. Usually, people who are distanced from themselves from society have some problems in their minds that make them refuse to socialize, and then they try to fill that gap with different forms of entertainment, such as television, food, and of course, the topic that we are talking about here that is video games. Never mind. This shows that video games do not deserve to be called destructive and addictive, because the problem of these accusations are more of the people who abuse them. If you one day are thinking about why your friend doesn't stop playing video games like this guy, please don't blame the video games, because it's very possible that the problem is with your friend himself and you should talk to him as soon as possible. Also remember that if you are going through a similar problem, it is prudent to treat it with a professional. Video games can cause different effects in people due to their content, which incidentally is also criticized for being violent, a fact that is also debatable.
Hey, Carlos.
Wait, wait, no, no, don't close the video. The violence in the video games is something that can be debatable. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It's certainly a reality that they the amount of video games that exist that are violent are too much. They are a large number of existing games that contains hate expressions and violent actions that can be truly strong for some kind of persons, but another absolute truth is that it is for this same reason that video games are separated by genres and also by age, precisely to avoid all these problems. The main complaints with this aspect come more commonly from parents who do not want their children to see this type of thing, but that's where the problem mainly comes from, because it is your responsibility as parent to follow the age rule and not blame the video games that literally limit people who can or cannot play them. And always remember, games of this type are made for people who search for them, and the fact that a child is not prevented from playing them, even though it is prohibited, does not mean that video games should stop showing this content. The fault is not from the video games because it is totally legally. It's a game from foolish people. But in this case, I think it's different. I think they could direct their intentions to change things to real problems. Real problems such as the sexualization. Now, violence in video games is certainly a problem that they have today. Usually in all kind of video games you can see an extreme sexualization of both female and male characters. However, much more has been heard of the rejection of sexualization of female characters, and this is because in the video game industry it has been statistically proven that there are more male players and buyers than female ones. This produced in society a thought of exploitation and denigration towards women, and without a doubt they are right. But it should not be forgotten that this is a problem of both genders. Sexualization towards male characters is a problem that exists. Only it goes unnoticed by people because it is a minority, but that does not mean that it shouldn't be also eliminated. Sexualization in video games is a problem that must be eradicated because it gives a bad example of people's intentions, and it should not be forgotten that both genders are involved, and they must participate in achieving change. Now, in conclusion, I want to remind you that, as in all things, video games have their flaws, yes, but it is not something that cannot be solved. If we all cooperate and focus on the real problems that affect us all, we can achieve change by agreeing all with what we want to solve, and in this way, something like sexualization, violence, and even video games addiction will not be a too difficult problem. And who knows, and at some point of this life, maybe we can eliminate it. I am Charlie the Clown, and this was my report. Have a nice day.
Hey Carlos, how you doing? Just saw your video. You know, it's not that good. It's just not that good. But I think it's not good. The reason I didn't like it was more my fault than yours, because I was comparing your video to something like mine, and mine was like a little bit too good to be compared to. All right, it's like putting the standard too high. It's like saying Jaime Alfaro compared to LeBron James. Like LeBron James is like a different level, and a level Jaime can never reach. You know, but you say Jaime to San Carlos, how good is he? He's pretty good. You know, in San Carlos, he's pretty good. So in your case, you know, you can't reach this. You know, you can't reach that, but you can try. You can try. All right.